Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I am doing my last update on my team project pan for the year. The next update is going to be the finale, so I really am hopeful that I can get a few more products finished before the end of the year. I do have a few little empties to show you today, as well as some good progress on a number of my items. But before we get into that, a word from today's sponsor. So today's episode is sponsored by the Collagen Co. Now the Collagen Co. reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try any of their collagen products, and I said that I would be interested in trying it because I'm always looking for ways to add like extra benefits and nutrients into my diet. So they sent me the Pure Australian Collagen. This is the Pure Cold Peptides. Now this is their most recent product that they've released. They've only released it in like the last week or so. It does contain 10 grams of collagen per serve. Collagen Co is an Australian owned brand. Not only that, the benefit of this one is it's made from 100% Australian ingredients. So this one's Australian made and Australian owned, and also made from Australian ingredients. So best way to use this one is 2 scoops. So one serve is 2 scoops. In any hot or cold beverage. This one, however, is the unflavored version. I have personally tried this just with water myself. I didn't totally love the flavor. I found the flavor to be like a little bit like almost metallic-y, so I didn't love how this tasted in water by itself. You may not mind that taste, but I personally myself didn't love it. So my preferred method to use this is to add it into my morning smoothie. But they do have a different formula on their website, and it does come in flavored versions. So if you are someone like me that does always love to have a way to get extra water in their diet, I'm not the best at the moment for consuming water. I personally want to try the flavored versions that they have on their website, and that way it just gives me an extra way to get a little bit more hydration in my diet. I normally use it as a way of encouraging myself to get an extra big glass or a big like jug of water into my body first thing in the morning, especially if it tastes good. The other formula does come in flavors, so they are nice and fruity. So it's a great way to get something that tastes good first thing in the morning, but it also encourages you to drink some more water, because we all need a little bit of extra water in our diet. In relation to this collagen specifically, it's gluten-free, dairy-free, soya-free, non-GMO, so it is ticking all of those boxes as well. If you did want to try any of the products from Collagen Co, they did give me a code. I forget what it is, so I'll put it on the screen, and I will also leave them linked down below in the description, and I will leave my code down there as well. Again, thank you to the Collagen Co for sponsoring this video, and without further ado, let's jump back into it. Okay, so I am hopeful that I can still get a few of these items finished before the end of the year. I don't think I'm going to hit massive goals this year just because of the way I structured this project with my mini projects within the year. But this is a full face rolling project pan, so I have been focusing on a number of these items for chunks at a time. A lot less time than I ordinarily would. I ordinarily would keep a product in the project until I use it up completely and then rotate in another product. So the benefit of the way I've done it this year, I guess, is that I've been able to work on a lot more products from my collection than I ordinarily would. But the downside of that is I have not been able to finish a lot of products that I ordinarily would. So, you know, the trade-off is being able to use more of my collection, and I'm happy to take that trade-off. I think I've really enjoyed being able to use more of my collection this year, as opposed to just really honing in on certain items in my collection. But let's start at the top of the list with my primers. Now, I did introduce last month this primer. I introduced my Collagen HD Micro Primer. I have finished all of the primers in my personal collection. And over the last, or before the last update, I went trawling through my makeup kit to see if I had any primers in there that were due to be like rotated out because of their age. And I did find a couple of primers in there. This was one of them. So I have been using this for a month now, and over the last month I did use 5.19 grams of this one. A decent amount of progress on it, this one. This has 30 mils in it, so I want to say it might maybe take me another 3 or 4 months to have this one completely finished. You only need a fairly small amount of this one. It is more of like a silicone based primer. So you only need a fairly small amount of this one to do your entire face. Moving on to foundations. Again, I did use all 3 of my foundations this past month. I am getting dangerously close on all 3 of these, but I don't know whether I'm going to have any of them finished. I think that these probably will like all finish in January or February next year. I'm losing my hope. I'm losing my hope very quickly that I will get any of these 3 finished by the end of the year. I really hope that I can get at least maybe one of them finished, but I am very, very quickly losing that hope. So over the last month on my NARS foundation, this is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, I used 3.95 grams of this one. This one's actually settled really nicely over the last like hour or so, and it is sitting like just maybe it's a little bit below the S. So it's sitting like right here, like where this S starts to bend. So yeah, I'm very happy with that progress over the last month. Like almost 4 grams is a very solid effort. If I do another 4 grams, I don't think I'm going to have this one finished. So we shall see. Like I said, it's probably going to be, you watch, knowing my luck, it will be like the first week in January that I will have these suckers finished. And then my 2 foundations that I mix. So I mix the Oma Say What foundation with the Ultraviolet Dream Screen Tinted Veil. On my Oma Say What, I use 3.18 grams. And again, I'm sitting like, I don't know, it's like down here. I feel like every time I open it up and scrape the sides down, it changes. I don't know. I only use like 1 pump of this a day, like half a pump to 1 pump. And then this one I used 3.66 grams of this one. So I'm still tracking like basically the same weight on both of these, which makes me happy. This one is starting to feel really, really light. But again, I don't think it's going to be finished by the end of the year. I'm losing my hope. I'm really hoping that I'm wrong and I will have them done, but I'm very quickly, my hope's gone. I think my hope is well and truly gone on those ones. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. One thing that I do think I'm going to have finished is my Oma Stay Woke Concealer. And that's because if you can see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see down in there, but you can at least see like around the outsides, all of those windows that are showing. And I had to get my metal spatula in there just this past week to like move some of the stuff that's right down the bottom up to the top. So I think that I'm going to have this one finished once I like use up what's on this dough foot. Again, I'm going to get back in there again with my spatula and scrape everything up. I think once that happens, it'll be like the last time that I can scrape it clean and it will be finished. I'm so excited. I really want to have concealer finished this year, especially because I have 3 concealers open at the moment. I don't normally like to have that many concealers open at the same time, but I would at least like to get one of them finished this year, and then I can slowly work through the other 2 next year. My my Kosas concealer is also getting very close to being finished, but I did want to use up the Oma first because this is the oldest, and then the Kosas is like next in line in age. So that's the method in my madness with that one. My 2 powders that I was working on is my Hourglass Veil Powder and my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder, I used 0.33 of a gram. So, you know, very, very slow and very, very steady wins the race. 1 eternity later, I will have this one finished. 1 eternity and a half, I will have that one finished. And my veil, I used 1.4 grams. And I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this. Let me sort the level out a little bit. I am probably 3/4 left. Like that's where it's sitting when I turned it on the side, so I've probably used about a quarter of it. I really like this powder. I think it's a gorgeous powder. I hate the packaging. I cannot stand the packaging, but I do love the contents inside. I think the powder is beautiful. Even on oily skin, it's a good one. It is a good one. Eyeshadow primer, still working away on my Gerard Cosmetics. I feel like I'm gonna find the bottom of the packaging soon-ish, but this one's well and truly, she's definitely gonna come into 2023 with us. But I did use 0.68 of a gram, and that's probably because I did like my looks with my Glaminatrix Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and I've like redone my makeup a few times for Christmas parties and what, so I have used it probably a little bit more than I ordinarily would, and I am happy with the progress. 0.6 of a gram, that's pretty stellar progress on an eyeshadow primer, if I do say so myself. Setting sprays, I did use both of these this month. Progress on the MAC Fix Plus is, did I really use that much? Progress on the MAC Fix Plus is 7.46 grams. I don't remember using it that many times, but I will take it. And then drum roll, progress on my Urban Decay All Nighter, 20.64 grams. That is amazing. This one, I might get this one done. I might be able to have this one finished by the end of the year. I am very hopeful. Maybe not. I feel like there's like a quarter left in here, but if I use another 20 grams, it's going to be very close. I reckon surely there's not more than 20 grams left in that one. My two Benefit brow products that I'm currently working on, the Benefit Brow is taking fucking forever to get through, and it is driving me bananas. I still have a crap ton of product in here. This is annoying me to no end because I feel like I use it every single day and I get no progress. So I use 0.07 of a gram of this one. My excuse for such little progress is today I reactivated it with Inglot Duraline. So I did put 2 drops of Duraline in this, so that definitely has spoiled my progress, which is so annoying, but at least it is rehydrated and able to be used again. Oh, but it's taking so long. I cannot believe how long this is taking. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous how long this is taking. But I'm determined. Like, I have dedicated so much time on this little jar that I am not willing to give up now. I will not admit defeat. And then we have my Give Me Brow, which I feel like I'm getting very close to having finished. I used 0.71 of a gram of this one. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have this one finished by the end of the year. I do need to get in there again with my spatula and scrape it out. I think it's kind of all fallen to the bottom, but there's not much left in there. And I'm very happy about that because there's so much product in these little things that I feel very accomplished by the fact that I have almost completely used it up. It's almost bone dry in there. Okay, moving on to lip products. We did finish one this month. We did finish a lip product. We finished up one of my ultraviolet lip balms. This is the Ultraviolet Sheen Screen in Shimmer. I did cut it open because I wanted to scrape it all out. I don't know whether you can see in there, but I did scrape it all out. I chopped it open and I used 2 grams of this one this past month to get it completely finished. So that one is the first ultraviolet lip balm done and dusted. My Lime Crime Choker lipstick. Again, I think this is another one that the hope is gone. I'm very, very hopeful that I'm going to have it done, but I don't think, given that we're like a week into December now, I don't think it's going to happen. This is how much I have left of my Lime Crime Choker lipstick. You will see from my little tracking sheet that I've done very well. I mean, if you compare my last, like my month's worth of progress on my tracking sheet and apply that again for this month, I might be able to have it finished. I think what I'm going to find is I'm predicting that I'll have it down to the bottom of the bullet, but I won't have enough time to like scrape everything out of it and use it up that way. So I think that I'll probably have it finished to the point of it being like, when I apply it, it'll be like scraping my lips, but I won't have enough time to like dig everything out with a lip brush. That's my prediction, which, I mean, it's still, for most people, that's still considered finished, but for me, like it's kind of like almost not quite. So we'll see how we go with that one. I'm very, very hopeful. Again, it's going to come down to the wire. It is definitely going to come down to the wire with that one, and it's also going to come down to the wire with this one as well. This is my other ultraviolet lip balm that I've been working on. This one's the color Rosé. Now for this one, I used, my Lime Crime Chocolate lipstick, I used 0.8 of a gram. And this one, I use 1.82 of a gram. So I'm sitting, when I compare the empty weight of this one to this one, I have to use 4 grams of this before the end of the year. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't even know whether there's 4 grams of product left in here, but that's like the weight difference between the empty to this one, 4 grams. That's a lot of lip balm to use, but I'm almost at the point, I think, where I'm going to have to cut this one open because it's getting like very low down to the bottom there. So it might be another couple of weeks before I cut it open, but again, this one's going to come down to the wire. Sand and Sky powder enzyme or enzyme powder polish. I used 4.73 grams of this one. Where are you sitting? Where are you sitting right now? It's sitting like down here somewhere. There's still a lot of product left in this. Again, this is going to be another one I think I'm probably going to take into 2023. I might start the year with this as well. This might be one of the few products that I like carry through the entire year just to try and get it completely finished and out of the collection, just because it's so fine and there's like still quite a lot of product in there that I think it's going to take a little while to get through. We did finish a skincare item this month. This is the second empty of the month. My Mary Kay Hydrogel eye patches. Now I did say that like each month I wanted to use between 5 and 10 of these. I think last month I used 5 or 6. This month I used another 6 and we're finished. So there was only 12 sets left in here, and I managed to get through them. Once I actually, focused my attention and put my mind to it, it was pretty easy to use these. I just actually had to pull my finger out and put some effort into it. So those are done. Moving on, we have our nail polishes. Now I did have a nail polish empty this month. And you guys remember like the big roll in, I rotated back in like 20 something nail polishes. That's an exaggeration. It was only like 8, but it feels like 20. So we'll start off with my Essie base coat. I think I only used this once because I only used 0.15 of a gram of this one. I really need to put some more effort in to this one if I want to get it finished before the end of the year. I was really hopeful that I would have this one done by the end of the year, but if that's going to happen, I really need to put some more effort into it. So that one's, slow and steady. This is the one that I finished up. This is my Essie Mini in Bangle Jangles. I actually painted my toenails today with the last of this one. So I used 1.87 grams of this one this past month. I think I painted my toes 2 or 3 times with this one. That one's finished. That takes me to my 3rd nail polish empty for the year. Then we have my Holo Taco top coat, which is the glossy top coat. Use 0.43 of a gram of this one. I think I only used this like once or twice. My fingernails this month have been going through the wars. Like, you wouldn't believe. I think I really need to focus on this one, which is my Kester Black Miracle Treatment Base Coat. I really need to start going ham with this one on my fingernails because they are so bad at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but they are really, really bad. 0.33 of a gram I used on this one. And then last but not least is my Essie Color in Mind Your Mittens. Mind Your Mittens, I use 0.63 of a gram. Again, I think I painted my fingernails 2 or 3 times this month. And this one seems to be, this formula on the Mind Your Mittens seems to be different to my other Essie nail polishes. I feel like it's a little bit thinner, and this one has one of the thin brushes on it as opposed to the wide brush. I prefer wide brushes with nail polishes over these like stupid thin ones. I feel like the thin ones are just a waste of my time. Fragrances, I used my Sol de Janeiro, whatever this is called, Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush body spray. I used this one basically predominantly. I was also using a couple of samples as well. 11.35 grams on this one. Again, this is another one that's going to be very close. I don't think I'm going to have it finished. If I focus solely on this one, it might be very close, but I don't like my chances just because there's a fairly substantial amount left in there. It's probably like a quarter of the bottle is left, but I do have like a replacement backup. I literally said how much I hate backups in my previous video that I filmed, but I also have a backup of this one just because I know how close I am on it. I went out and brought one of the packs. So yes, I do have a backup of this one, so I need to get this out of my collection. Last category is hair care items. Actually, I forgot to mention a product. Going back up to our powders, I forgot to mention my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I managed to get this one completely finished this month. There was not much left of this one at the last update. She's done and dusted. Unfortunately, this isn't one of the ones that you can refill. I have purchased a restock of this, and my new compact is a refillable compact, but this one unfortunately is the old packaging that was not refillable. So just in case you're not aware, I've been banging on about this for years, how much I wanted Charlotte Tilbury to come out with a refillable version of the pressed powder. She's finally done it. She's finally listened to me begging her for years about bringing out this in a refillable. You can thank me later. It's fine. You're welcome. Great powder. Love that it's coming in a refillable version now. You can also get her new powder in a refillable version, the one that's kind of similar to the Hourglass lighting powders, the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. It's similar to that, and you can also get her bronzer in a refillable compact as well. So I love that she's starting to expand some of her powder products into refill compacts, and you can just buy the refill pans. Now moving into the hair care category, unfortunately I don't have any hair care empties, which is disappointing, but I think I've already done really well this year in my hair care category, so I can't complain. We'll start with my Argania Argan Oil. I use 1.42 grams of this one, and I think I've probably used maybe just over a third of this one now. I'm actually making really good progress on this one. It's not going to be done by the end of the year, but I've definitely made a really good dent on it, so happy with that. Then we have my KMS Flat Out Straightening Cream. I have used so much of this one. I used 16.36 grams of this. Again, I don't know where it is on the bottle because this packaging is so opaque that I just can't see where the level is in the bottle. It drives me crazy. I think it might be around here. Surely not. I feel like I've used a lot more than that. But that seems to be where the darkness starts. I don't know. I can't even use my lights to help me. So that's that one. It's going to be one that I probably will get this one finished next year because I'm finding it fairly easy to use. But yeah, I seem to be doing like really big amounts each month, and it still feels like there's a lot in there. So probably a good solid maybe 4 or 5 months left on that one, maybe even up to 6 months, just given how much progress I'm already making, and it still seems like there's a lot of product in there. Davines Curl Building Serum, I used 1.33 grams of this one, and I think that was from today. I put a little bit of this in my hair before I used my crimper, so I think that was like only from today. This is still sitting above 150 grams. I was really hoping to have this like below 150 grams. That's not going to happen. It's sitting at 177.05 grams. So I think the under 150 grams goal is going to have to rotate into next year. And then last but not least is my Juice hairspray that I rotated in a couple of months ago. This one is sitting at 100 grams neat. I used 1.54 grams of this one over the last month, so slow and steady on this one. I didn't think that I would have this one finished anyway. I just rotated it in to basically get like a head start on my hairspray collection, because turns out for somebody that doesn't use hairspray, I have a shitload of hairsprays in my collection. This is like one of 4 or 5. I don't know why I have so many hairsprays, but I do. I have a lot of them for some reason, and I'm hoping to get them all finished next year. Last but not least is my sample category, and you guys know it. I used up some samples. I didn't make my 100 goal just yet. Can you bloody believe I'm at 99, which is so infuriating. I have, I want to say maybe between 5 and 10 samples that are like on the edge of being finished. So I definitely will hit it next month. I was hoping that I would have it finished this month, but I'm going to be hitting probably closer to the 110 mark when it comes to how many samples I've used up this year. But as per usual, we're just going to quickly run through what I've used up. So I used up another one of the Each Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This one is in Light Natural. We've got one of the Mary Kay mask pods. This is the Miss Perfect one. I've got 2 of the Hollywood Flawless filters. This was the last of the card that I got, and I used up the color 5.510 and 6.5 deep. I used these under my foundation as a bit of like a bronzer, like glowy, highlighty bronzer type product. It was actually really nice for that. So, you know, rather than wasting an entire sample card, obviously if you have a friend to pass them on to, by all means do that. But rather than throwing out like 3/4 of the card, you can definitely find ways to use up the deeper samples. Like me, pop it under your foundation, and that way it's not so like jarring, and you could just use it as a bronzer. And it works great for that. That is specifically that product, really beautiful. I used up one of the Alchemy leave-in conditioners. I actually use this as a bit of like a pre-wash leave-in conditioning treatment, because I've run out of Olaplex, and I've also run out of like all my deep conditioning hair masks, so I thought that I would use it that way. Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. This was one of those I really like, I don't know, I like how Charlotte Tilbury packages her samples. I always feel like I have enough for at least 2 to 3 uses out of these little pouches that she sends you. Juice Beauty Bamboo Pore Refining Mask. This little pot is brilliant. I am actually going to reuse this for my moisturizer when I go away, because I buy the really big tubs of my Kiehl's moisturizer, and I hate traveling with that because it's such a big pot. So I thought this would be brilliant to keep and refill. There's a little Diptyque perfume sample. This is the Diptyque Orpheon perfume. A little bit overbearing and strong for my liking, but I did like the longevity of it on my skin. That is my updates for my Team Project Pan for November. That's all the progress I made on these products for November. I have another couple of weeks before the finale. I'm really hopeful that I can knock a few more of these products over before the end of the year. Wish me luck. I am really hopeful and positive and optimistic, but as I get towards the end of the year, my hope is fading. My hope is fading Let me know how you're going on your project panning items. Are you going to be focusing on any products for the last month of the year? Let me know down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below so you can keep up to date on all my updates for this project, my finale, and all my intros for 2023. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.